Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. My name is Paul. I am the Country Hipster. That music you just heard was the Unholy Four from Charlottesville, Virginia, and their mega hit song, Dirty Knife. Check out the Unholy Four on Spotify, Bandcamp, YouTube, and a bunch of other places, Apple Music, wherever you can find the Unholy Four. OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, podcast-specific promo code for the month of November. It's November now, folks. It's turkey. So I didn't get very creative. I just said, no, we're going to make it turkey for November. So if you go to OttsvilleRecordGarage.com and use promo code turkey at checkout, you will save 15% off of your entire order. Also, if you're watching or listening on Spotify, go ahead and scroll down a little bit for the listener support if you want to support us in what we're doing here, and go ahead and pledge some monthly money to us. It could be as small as 99 cents, and like we said, we drink pretty cheap beers, so 99 cents probably goes a pretty long way for us. As you can see, we don't have Adam again. Adam, my co-host, is not here, and we're also not in the Ottsville Record Garage, but my co-host for today is the country heartthrob, Tom, and we are at Tom's house.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen at Tom's house.
My tiny little kitchen.
Yes. And aside from Tom, and there's Ryan. We got our corner troll. The official corner troll of the Ottsville Record Garage and Country Hipster Podcast, Ryan. So if you look down, that'll be the drinking game for this episode, since we don't have Modest and Mouse. Every time you see the corner troll, you got to drink. So
I do have mice in my basement, the little bastards. My house is about 120 years old, so if they want to come in, they're coming in.
Yeah, well, so, you know. Yeah, well, you're
not going to see them in my kitchen.
Yeah, I was going to say your kitchen's a lot cleaner than the Ottsville Record Garage, so I doubt we're going to see any mice here. But also, if Tom is here on this episode, aside from filling in for Adam today, who is recovering nicely from his little procedure the other day. I
think the term is broke dick.
Broke dick, yes. Adam has a broke dick and needed to get it fixed. So that means this is a Booze and Vinyl episode here today. We are talking about Run-DMC Raising Hell, and that is a Booze and Vinyl episode from Booze and Vinyl Volume 1 by Andre Darlington and his sister Denia Darlington, which she denies everything. Denia Darlington, that's her name now. So first of all, if you watched last week's episode, The De La Soul 3 Feet High and Rising, you saw there was a quite extensive interview with Andre Darlington in that. So once again, thank you to Andre for coming on with us last week and doing that. And and so check out Booze and Vinyl Volume 1, Booze and Vinyl Volume 2, as well as a Christmas Booze and Vinyl and the upcoming Booze and Vinyl Country Music Edition. So make sure you check those out. And so we are here to do a book review. A book review. As if you notice, I don't think Andre is going to sue me, but I can't guarantee that. So we are still doing a book review. So what do we have here for our first drink? We'll do the first drink, and then we'll go into the factoids.
The first drink from Booze and Vinyl version or Volume 1 is called the Peter Piper. The notes on it: listen to the first song on side A to get the reference, then enjoy this sour and spicy number. It's adapted from a cocktail created by Allie Ward and Georgia Hardstark, hosts of the cooking channel Classy Ladies Show. It says, note, black pepper vodka is easy to make at home. We like to infuse our own by adding a couple tablespoons of black peppercorns to a bottle of vodka, then straining them out after about a week.
Okay. All right, cool.
I myself do not like black pepper vodka, but
yes, I've actually never had black pepper vodka, so I couldn't tell you if it's good or not. Have you ever actually had it?
I have. The Absolute Pepper one I've had many times. The previous bar that I worked at, I guess I worked at them both at the same time, but the last one I also worked at, they were known for their Bloody Marys.
Okay.
And so we had regular vodka, and then we had other top shelf ones, but we also had the pepper one, and that was a pretty big seller there.
Okay.
A lot of people just like that, like extra pepper flavor in the Bloodies that we made.
So how do you feel about Bloody Marys? I know some people are like hit and miss with Bloody Marys.
So I don't generally like tomato juice. Okay. I don't agree with its existence. That being said, I will drink a Bloody if the mix is correct. So I've had some really bad ones. I know people that use the fucking Clamato.
Yeah.
That's another one. I don't agree with it existing. Whoever, it's an abomination. The one that we use at the Tiernanog is it's made by Cutwater, and it's really good.
Okay.
So if I'm going to have one, I'll go with a bloody with that. But I also don't use vodka in mine. I use Irish whiskey.
Okay.
So we do what's a Bloody Molly.
Okay.
That's what they would call that.
Nice. So I am a Bloody Mary fan, but I don't like them overly spicy. I like there to be tons of shit in a Bloody Mary. I don't mind that. But like if it's too, like, I'm not a spice guy as it is, but if the Bloody Mary is too spicy, I can't do it. Like so Irish Weekend this past year, went out drinking Friday night with the band. And so Saturday morning, Katie wanted to walk around the festival and whatnot. And I was walking with her, but I was totally feeling it. And I saw the one bar there was selling Bloody Marys. And I'm like, I need a Bloody Mary. Yeah. And I went and I got it. And it looked good. Like as they were making it, it looked really good. But it was just too much. It was too spicy. Now, if you're down the shore in Wildwood and you go to this place called the Surfing Pig, which I think is like off of like 10th in New Jersey or 10th in New York, somewhere around in that area in North Wildwood, and you get the chum bucket. Oh my God, that is like the best Bloody Mary I've ever had, because it's like it's got the vodka, the tomato juice, literally has tons of crab meat in the drink. You get a giant freaking shrimp with it. It's got, the other stuff, the celery and the olives and all that kind of crap, and like the normal stuff. But it's like, it has a little bit of a kick to it. It does have a little bit of a kick to it, but it's not overwhelming. Like that's the thing with the good Bloody Mary is I think good Bloody Mary needs to have a kick. But it can't be like, oh my God, I'm sweating because I'm drinking this Bloody Mary. Because I'm drinking a Bloody Mary because I'm already sweating because I'm hungover. I myself, I am a spicy boy. I want things to be uncomfortably spicy. That being said, I have definitely had Bloody Marys that were over the top. Right.
They're this thing's fucking me up. And like, I can't even.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get vodka in me without looking like a derelict because it's 9:45 in the morning and I'm drinking vodka. Like if you're drinking 2 airplane bottles of vodka on the boardwalk, it's a much different perception to the public than if you're drinking a Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary, classy, totally socially acceptable.
Yes.
2 airplane bottles of vodka.
That's not
really
good.
not.
Yes. They're like, that person
same
might
effect,
have a problem.
though.
Yes.
Absolute same effect.
And that's my whole thing with spice in general is like, I'm not huge on like things that just like make me uncomfortable. When it comes to spice, it's not hard to make me uncomfortable with spice, but I prefer that the spice just be flavorful. I can deal with heat as long as there's flavor to go with the heat.
That's one of my favorite things about Indian food. My favorite, if you're going to deal with a lot of spicy ingredients, you have to have a deft hand. And I feel like there is no culture that has mastered the use of spices like Indian food. It's fucking incredible.
Love Indian food.
And I will eat things that are way hotter than I normally would because they taste so good, and then I will pay for it later.
Yes. All right, so why do the factoids? We want to get those drinks going.
Got a bartender.
All right, we got a bartender. We have
bartender in training.
Yes, bartender training.
Throw a bunch of ice in the big shaker. I said a bunch. All right, the corner troll is currently making our first drink.
There you go.
That should be good. That's good.
All right, so the factoids on Run-DMC, Raising Hell. This is the 3rd studio album from Run-DMC, which was released on May the 15th, 1986. It was produced by Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin, friend of the podcast, has also produced the albums I can think of off the top of my head that Rick Rubin's produced that we have been involved with would be Licensed to Ill by the Beastie Boys, as well as Adele 21 from season 1. I'm sure there's other Rick Rubin produced albums that we've done, and I just can't think of them very well. Cool thing about this album, it was certified platinum on July 15th, 1986. 2 months after its release, it already sold over 1 million copies. Total sold as of 1987, April 1987, went 3 times platinum. So in less than a year, this album sold over 3 million copies in the U.S. alone. And it's considered one of the greatest, if not the most important album in the history of hip-hop music and culture. If you recall last week, I said that in my opinion, De La Soul 3 Feet High and Rising, thank you very much, is the greatest album, the greatest hip-hop album ever made. I still stand by that, but I will say that this is very close, and it precedes De La Soul, but I'll get into that later. Very groundbreaking album. Raising Hell peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and hit number 1 on top of the R&B hip hop charts. I just turned Boston. Hip hop charts. He's a chatter. You lost the roll. Hip hop charts. Walk This Way, which was done with Aerosmith. I'm sorry. Walk This Way, which was done with Aerosmith.
I remember the video of that very well.
Yes. Was the first song on hip hop. It basically brought hip hop to the mainstream and was the first by a hip hop act to reach the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. It hit number 4. In 1987, it was nominated for a Grammy, making Run-DMC the first hip hop group to be nominated for a Grammy. In 2017, it was inducted into the National Registry by the Library of Congress as a culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant album. This is, I think, our second, actually, it's 2 albums in a row. The other one being De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, was also into Library of Congress. And we've done a few others, too, that have ended up being brought into the Library of Congress. In 2003 and 2012 Rolling Stone Top 500, this was at number 123. But dropped to 209 on the 2020 list. I think 209 is a little low for this album. I think it should be top 200 at least. I mean, even though it's like right in that area, I would put it.
There's going to be some trash albums in the top 200 that could probably be stricken. Yeah, there's going to be some fucking Ted Nugent album or something.
Yeah, something that I think this should
cast off into the sun.
I'm not saying it needs to be like top 100, but like I think it's definitely should be over the top. I think the 123 is probably a pretty good, 123 to 175 is just probably where I would put it.
I don't have the best handle on exactly what's in that top 200 because I know in the last several years the criteria has been updated, yes. So that list is.
Yep,
I have no idea. I hear something's oh okay cool. Yeah. Billboard top or lifetime Rolling Stone top 200 lifetime. Cool.
Yeah, but and a lot of albums came out in 8 years too. But still, I just it's still I think this album stands the test of time. Public Enemy's Chuck D says that he considers this to be the greatest hip hop album of all time, and the reason why he signed with Def Jam Records and Russell Simmons. 4 singles off of this album: My Adidas, Walk This Way, You Be Illin', and It's Tricky. My Adidas is the only one that did not hit the Billboard Hot 100, but it did hit number 5 on the U.S. R&B hip hop charts. So that is the main factoids there. So before we get into discussion, this is
the Peter Piper. This is the pepper and pickle juice and or
Peter Piper picked peppers and he did rhymes.
He did.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is pepper, vodka, pickle juice, dry vermouth. Shake it with some ice.
I love the pickle. And it smells so good.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. I like this. This is good. Good.
I hate that.
You hate it? I like this.
I hate that.
So if I'm drinking a martini, this is what this kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of like a spicy martini. I like a dirty martini. I like a dirty vodka martini is what I'll go with.
I'm okay with the pickle juice. I think for me, it's the pepper that does it for me, that I don't like the combination.
Yeah, see, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's
maybe I'll like it more as the ice melts. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time I hated a drink at the first sip, and then it kind of grew on me as the ice mellowed it out a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I am not a fan.
Oh, no, this is nice. I am liking this. And you get that. And again, I think that'll go away as the ice melts. I get a little vodka sting on the back end there.
There's also what I put. We couldn't get our hands on pepper vodka, to be quite honest. My local liquor store did not have it, so we had to improvise. So basically, I used the same amount of vodka with like 4 drops of Cholula hot sauce, which is pretty mild as far as hot sauces go, to give us that pepper flavor, but it's not going to be pure black pepper flavor.
See, I like
gets
that,
us in that neighborhood.
Yeah, no, that's.
I have no problem with spicy. I like, and this isn't exactly spicy. No. It just gives you that hot pepper flavor.
But this is what I'm talking about. This has spice, but for flavor, not for heat and comfortableness.
I can taste the vodka at the back end of that. I don't Maybe it's the pickle brine that I don't like.
Oh.
I don't know. Something about this drink that I don't like.
Okay.
I can't really put my finger on it, but I do not like it.
So I have a feeling, even though he's not here, I have a feeling Adam would hate this drink as well.
Okay.
He would probably drink the fuck out of it, but I think he would dislike it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this. This is big. This is one I could see myself making this like normally. You know, like there's some drinks from the Booze and Vinyl that we've gotten into where I'm just like, I never want to drink that again. Hence the shot that made me puke on the Clash episode.
That was fucking hilarious. But it wasn't even bad. It was just that you're just a.
I puked.
Did he
yes,
ever?
I puked. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
like
Mysteriously, the video disappeared though.
that had to do with editing. The video still exists. It's just that we switched over. Jack started his big boy job, so he couldn't do it anymore. So the only way I could do it was just by using the audio for that
was
one.
funny.
Yeah, but you hear it on the audio for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know. I was actually pleasantly surprised by that shot. I thought it was going to be way worse.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad. So, this album, Tom, what's your like background with Run DMC? Like, what's your,
love Run DMC.
Yes.
This was this one of the ones I selected from the Booze and Vinyl collection?
No.
Okay.
This
would have been
if
it wasn't already selected. When
Okay.
I went through the list of the Booze and Vinyl ones. I love Run DMC. Run DMC was my intro into hip hop music, as it probably was for a lot of. I just turned 47.
Yeah.
The reason I wasn't on the De La Soul episode is because I was out gallivanting around for my birthday.
Yes, we did give you a happy birthday, but a happy birthday
nice.
again in person. So,
So I was gallivanting around Asbury Park, drinking my face off and being a menace,
Nice.
and I missed it. But a lot of 47-year-old, 40 to 45 to 50-year-old white kids from the suburbs like me, that was our introduction. Honestly, like I know where you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
The neighborhood I grew up in is right down here. It's very similar.
Oh, yeah,
Demographic wise, it's not quite urban, but it's definitely not suburbs. It's like the outskirts of the city.
Yep.
And a lot of the kids in my neighborhood, like I remember the first time I heard King of Rock.
Mm-hmm.
That was my introduction to Run DMC. And I remember listening to the albums. I remember Rockbox really, really well. Like when that was like, I remember kids like playing it at we'd be at my buddy Jay's house and, somebody would throw that CD on or that tape. I love Run DMC. I have nothing but great memories of them.
Yep.
I was always very impressed by Run DMC, not only because every record they put out, they were inventing the genre as they went along.
Yes.
I mean, they didn't invent it, obviously, but
they perfected it.
Yeah, but you can trace
and
like
they brought it into the mainstream
hip hop stuff back to. I think Sugar Hill Gang's usually like kind of accepted as like the original, like the first hip hop group.
Yes.
Which
is fine, which is good. You know what I mean?
And from New Jersey, by the way.
What the hell is the Rapper's Delight?
Rapper's Delight
is that's generally
the song's about 7 minutes too long, but it's it's good. But I just mean like they were breaking ground every time they put a record out. They blazed a trail that everybody else. That was like, here's the playbook.
Yep.
And Run DMC wrote that fucking playbook for everyone else that followed them.
So like and going back to that, and the way I look at it is like you have the Sugar Hill Gang who definitely they're considered like Rapper's Delight is the first rap song or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So but when you take like Sugar Hill Gang and then you take like even like old Curtis Blow and Grandmaster Flash and stuff like that. That's the stuff where like I started getting into. That was almost like harder disco to an extent.
Oh,
whereas Run DMC were the first ones, in my opinion, to full-fledged like take on this is rap.
I think, I feel like Run DMC. I understand I'm not qualified to make this fucking statement.
Oh,
but
I feel like
Run DMC is what they did. They took what it was and turned it into what it now is.
Yes,
I think they were the last great like seismic shift in hip hop. Okay. Because the stuff that came before them was like the things you mentioned.
Yes.
It was the DJ freestyling over a disco record because there were no fucking hip hop beats on vinyl at the time. So it was a disco record. Run DMC did it in a different way in that they played all the instruments. So every noise you hear on this album is played by them. And I always respected the shit out of them for that. They're like, hey, I want to have a guitar part. Well, guess who's going to learn how to play guitar?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
or we're going to play, we have a percussionist. We have this and I can't say how, I can't overstate how impressed I always was with Run DMC and the fact that they played all of their own instruments, because you just don't see that anymore.
No. And like the other thing I like about it so much is like when you sit there, and they'll sit there, they actually say it in one of the songs that they don't sing.
God, I hate that drink.
But they're rapping in a key. They're rapping in a musical key. So it's like, they're talking or whatever. And there's the rhythmic part of it as well. And they just do it so well. And even goes back even before this album. Like when you look at the song that comes to mind, this is my first memory actually of Run DMC is the song You Talk Too Much, which I think was on Tougher Than Leather. Not 100% sure, but that's like my first memory of Run DMC. And me and my brother Brian, who, there you go. So this is, which is also one of the reasons why Run DMC is very sentimental to me, is that we used to learn the Run DMC raps, and like You Talk Too Much, like we would go back and forth, and every other word was a different or like every like 2 or 3 words was a different person saying it, and like and for them to be able to do that, and between Run and DMC just go back and forth over the course of a couple verses was like impressive and is musical and it's lyrical and besides the rhythm behind it, it's just good. And then to have them with this album, basically say like, hey, yeah, we actually rap all the time to this Aerosmith album, this Aerosmith song, which apparently Aerosmith was very against putting this out at first. But not only did and
wouldn't be the first time that Steven Tyler would be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Absolute reprehensible human being.
Yes.
Fuck him.
But like, not only did this album bring rap and hip hop into the mainstream, it also brought Aerosmith back from the dead.
It brought Aerosmith back from the dead so they could foist upon us the absolute fucking garbage that they gave us all through the 2000s.
Are you saying you don't love in the Elevator?
Oh God, no. They got so much worse.
Oh, I know.
They got so that fucking the song from that goddamn Ben Affleck movie.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, what a terrible song that is.
It became people's wedding song,
dude. They suck. They shouldn't have released an album after the 70s.
Yeah, I know.
So I guess Run DMC is responsible for that.
Yes, yeah, it is.
A little bit. They share part of the responsibility for that. Yes. But I do remember, because it not only relaunched Aerosmith's career, but that was the
okay, so
that was the debut of rap music on MTV.
Yes, and rap and rock together, like making that combination. I remember there being like another album that I can't remember, but it was like a various artist album, and like one of the collabs on it was Teenage Fan Club and De La Soul. I wish I could remember the album,
but the Judgment Night soundtrack.
No, it wasn't.
It was a really good. That was a good album.
Yeah. It was just a whole like because it was in the wake of the Walk This Way thing where they just took these rap groups and rock groups and put them together and said, write a song together and then do this. And it was, I forget what the album was called, but I remember that specific one because it was really the only one I liked. The other unfortunate thing about that, though, because of the whole rap and rock collab,
then
we also ended up with Kid Rock and fucking Limp Bizkit. So
that's true. Although, like, I still love Linkin Park. So
yeah, I like Bleed It Out.
I will say
that's one of those like if I need to get hype, I'm putting Bleed It Out on.
For me, it's Hybrid Theory, and I don't really care about the rest of their whole catalog. Okay. But their first album to me was amazing.
Yeah.
And they have a couple songs here and there. I don't care. To me, they're like the Foo Fighters, and like I like their hits. I don't really care about the rest.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but besides Bleed It Out, I couldn't tell you any of the Linkin Park stuff. Although they are canceled right now, right? Aren't they canceled because they are my mixing bands because of the singer? They brought in the singer.
They brought in female. They brought in a chick who's kind of problematic.
Which is fine, yes, because she's like all Scientologist and shit like that.
Yeah. She was buddies with Danny Masterson or whatever.
Yes,
so,
there you go.
I also didn't realize they were still playing music because to me, like that band died when Chester died. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I understand you're still, but he was such a talent.
Oh, wait, Chester.
Yeah, Chester. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know how we got this far off topic, but I do love.
We always get off topic.
I know.
That's what, that's what.
That's the ADHD.
Yes.
I'm going to tell 7 stories, and every one of them has a side story. Every thought comes with bonus content.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, no, love the album. Love that. I love that. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people my age, like white guys my age, like this was the Walk This Way video was the introduction to, like, I knew who Run-DMC was, but them on MTV was like, that really kicked the door open because, I understand there had been other videos on the
Oh, no, doesn't fit. You tried though. Oh, look at that. Getting a lesson there. Nope, still doesn't fit.
This is made for the slim cans.
Yeah,
kid.
good try.
Sorry.
Good try though, kid. Good try.
I like the way you think.
Yes.
All right, where were we? Sorry.
So
Got interrupted by the corner troll.
Oh, it's okay. That was good. Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing. So like this is the album, this band, and I call them a band, even though they're sort of hip hop group. I mean, they're a band. Run-DMC is just like, they're just so damn good, and it's what we were breakdancing to back in the day. It's what we learned about. It's like that was like my introduction really to black culture as well. Because my neighborhood, we were all a bunch of white kids, like trying to be black kids breakdancing, you know what I mean? And like listening to like watching breaking and watching Beat Street, but then like Run-DMC just made it like so much better, and just their talent and whatnot. It was cool. Like that was the culture we wanted to be in and get into. Real quick, before we go any further, we must raise a glass to the damn greatest DJ to ever exist, Jam Master Jay. Jam Master Jay.
Here.
So,
very wait for him to go too.
Tragically cut down. In his studio, and I know there's all sorts of stories and all this kind of stuff behind it. But that was a damn shame. And he ultimately, paved the way for all the other DJs, all the samplers, and that's one of the things. This album paved the way for 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, which I still, like I said, I think as an album, if you put De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising next to Run-DMC Raising Hell, I still think 3 Feet High and Rising is a better album. But without this album, you don't have 3 Feet High and Rising.
That doesn't happen.
Plain and simple. With the stuff they do on this, the mixing, the scratching, all the stuff they do. They do limited samples on this, whereas like 3 Feet High and Rising is like all samples. But again, they took Raising Hell, and instead of trying to put out Raising Hell, they put out their own album and did it better. You know what I mean? In my opinion, not to take anything away from this, I just feel that it's just for De La Soul, that album's just a better album. If you look at the whole body of work, though, I wouldn't say that De La Soul is a better rap group than Run-DMC. I think when you look at the whole body of work, Run-DMC is the godfathers of rap. They are the if you put a Mount Rushmore of rap artists together, 3 of them are these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're De La Soul, I think, was more polished, more. They're probably just better.
They were definitely more produced.
They're definitely better rappers.
Yeah.
But these guys were
Yes.
guys were invented. The difference was these guys were actually cutting, like blazing the trail, inventing the genre as they went along.
Yep.
And I think that, to me, that means a lot. Like, I love the, I still love this album. Like, I forgot how this happens every time I'm on a Boost and Vinyl. I'm like, oh, no, I'm familiar with the album. And then short of License to Ill, like, I couldn't hear. I forgot half of the songs on the album because I'm like, those aren't the ones I listen to. They're not on my Spotify playlist. There are 4 songs on my Spotify playlist.
Right.
So I forgot. I listened to it again. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I remember. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yep.
And it's still such a great album. 40 years later.
Yep. And
almost 40 years. Right. It's 86. I think this came out.
80. Hold on. You were making a drink. Unlike Adam, who would have been messing on his phone. You were at least being 86. Yep. 86, May of 86. Okay. You were at least being productive. I ran into the same thing. Like there were songs on this that I was like, oh shit, this is on here. Like Dumb Girl. I'm like, oh, I totally forgot about this song.
Yeah.
And I just remember like me and my brother would be going to like day camp on the bus and we'd be like, that girl's a dumb girl. And we'd be like, dumb girl. You know what I mean? And it, like I forgot about that song. I forgot about Hit It Run. I knew, like, as soon as Peter Piper came on, I knew. I was like, bang, right there.
Yeah, here we
Peter
go.
Piper picked peppers, and he get rhymes. Humpty Dumpty fell down, and we just, it was all like right there. And just listening to this album, and like, it's tricky. Like, it is one of those things where it's just so ingrained with you, and they're so good that like if I were to try doing it really on my own, I probably wouldn't be able to get it. But with the thing, I know every single fucking word to almost all these songs. Not like the Counting Crows episode where I said like as it's playing, I actually realized how much I had listened to that album because I don't know all the words on all the songs here, but I know most of them, or at least I know some of the best verses.
Mm-hmm.
So but this album, it's just freaking amazing, just amazing. So real quick, what is our next drink? Since you hated this one so much, which I liked. If you look,
So
I've been killing this thing.
No,
I don't need another.
The next drink in our book review here is called The Little Devil.
Okay.
From the great 1927 cocktail book by I don't know how to pronounce.
Oh,
Harry,
do you need me to do it?
Harry McElhone.
Let me see. Yeah, McElhone. Yeah, I have to tell you how to say something.
Comes this tasty little number created in London at Ciro's. Is a rather unique drink, more delicate than one might expect. Right. I don't know. I'll get to it. Give me 2 seconds.
All right, so I know you just told me, but remind me again what we're drinking here. This is gonna be great editing because we're gonna go right from you telling me what you made to me saying it again. Can you tell me what we just made?
It's gonna be the Little Devil.
Yes, the Little Devil. Okay, all right, the Little Devil. So this is supposed to be smoother, right? This is more of a gin based.
This is gin, rum, orange liqueur, and lemon juice. Okay. So it's there is a good possibility that it's going to be acceptable.
It's like a gin kamikaze in a way.
If it had lime juice, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
kamikaze being vodka triple second lime juice.
Yes. I could drink this all day.
This is like the second or third drink that we've had that is very similar.
Yeah.
We've had several lemony gin or vodka based drinks. I'm not mad about that at all.
No. This is a summer drink. This is a hot day, fucking sitting in your backyard barbecue drink, or this is also like one of those kind of like signature wedding drinks sort of deals. I could see that.
I don't know if I need the gin and the rum. I could probably just choose one.
See, so the thing I like about this is that they actually meld very nicely. I almost want to say they cancel each other out, but they don't. Though. You know what I mean? It's just it's actually a really nice combination. When you look at like a clear gin, well, obviously all gin's clear, but a clear rum mixed with the gin, and of course you pick good gin, so that also helps. That is just nice and smooth. This is one of those drinks that would absolutely get me in trouble. I would get into a lot of trouble. Do you need a church key there, sir?
Yeah.
I'm actually somewhat useful.
I usually have a knife that I use, but since we're in my house, I'm not armed. So
it's okay. No, it's another one. I am going to go my official book review of these drinks from Booze and Vinyl Volume 1 by Andre Darlington and Tanaya Darlington. I gotta go 100%. I give them an A+ on both of them. I know you weren't big on the first drink, with
not at all. Brian, I hated the first one, but this one is good.
This is just flat out delightful. You did a very good job, Corner Troll.
Yep. Yeah, she did a good job shaking it. She actually poured these herself too, and she got them dead on.
Yeah.
Pretty good job.
Wow, that was good.
The bartender in trade. She'll be the season 3 bartender.
There you go. Well, season 2 will be a lot shorter. So but if you go back,
you're only gonna have one birthday in season 2.
If you start, if you start season 1 now, by the time you get up to this episode in season 2, our corner troll will probably be 30 years old. So
Sure, he looks like a damn teenager.
I know, right?
Slow down, man.
Right. So this album here, back to the album we're here to talk about, is just it did pave the way. Besides the rap and rock, but I mean, even when you go into the West Coast style of rap, like the gangster rap, when you get into that, you also it harkens back to this album.
Also, my favorite genre or subgenre of rap. Like that's that is absolutely right in my strike zone for the shit we were listening to in high school. Like,
which makes sense too, because we talked about last week on 3 Feet High and Rising. I hate to go back to 3 Feet High and Rising. I don't.
Yeah, it's a great fucking album.
That introduced the rap skit to things, which when you look at like things like specifically Chronic by Dr. Dre and Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, there are certain little skits throughout that, which was originated. Fugees do that. Yes.
One of the fucking funniest ones in the history of any of those little skits in the middle of them, but they have a ton of them.
Yeah. And it all goes back to 3 Feet High and Rising. And again, 3 Feet High and Rising, doesn't get made and isn't as good if it's not for Raising Hell. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could dispute that that Run-DMC is the reason why. Not the reason why it exists, but the reason why it is commercially viable. Like they were acceptable for the people in power to go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's make this record.
And it's not like they were like good guys. Do you know what I mean? They weren't good guys. They cursed in some of their songs. They talked about sex in some of their songs. They talked about drugs.
They also weren't fucking shooting people in their personal lives.
Exactly. They weren't doing that. Yes.
But they were probably, I don't know, I'm not going to saint any of them, but I don't remember them having massive legal troubles where like that's so they were kind of
and because when you think about it, when you get into people like Will Smith, who doesn't rap in his doesn't rap in his curses, doesn't curse in his rapping. MC Hammer was not like
Will Smith's target audience though for his rap songs is fucking 12-year-olds.
Right, exactly.
So
and same thing with MC Hammer and stuff like that, where it's like, because
Hammer is a lot more gangster than I realized. I've been reading a lot about him recently.
Okay,
like he's a one that people like legit are fucking scared of.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Like it was known throughout the land. You don't fuck with that guy.
Really? Okay. No, I mean, he's from Oakland, so Raiders fan.
He's apparently a bad motherfucker.
Okay. All right. Which is kind of, it's actually kind of funny to hear that, because he basically lost all of his money to his entourage pretty much.
Yeah. Well, because he was going to have 40 people with him at all times. That's 40 phone bills and 40 fucking hotel. Yeah, that's a lot.
Ridiculous.
You can't touch this money. Doesn't last forever.
Yeah, I know. He can't touch it now. So
I remember though when he was the biggest fucking musician on the planet.
Yep.
Where you couldn't go 5 minutes without hearing that fucking song.
I know. And all the pants, and then when Too Legit came out,
Adam's Family. You remember?
Oh yeah. I did the Adam's Family.
Massive.
Yes. Yep. But that was the thing. Like, I think like when you got into Hammer and Will Smith,
I never took those guys serious though.
Exactly.
Like, to me, they were like, no, Weird Al but he's openly parodying songs.
Yes.
They are just a parody and they don't realize it.
Yes. Yeah, and even when you look at Young MC and like Tone Loc, that's the type of stuff where you saw, in my opinion, white record executives being like, that's safe rap. We can put that black person on our label and it'll be safe. You know what I mean? But again, that stuff doesn't get made without this album. Mm-hmm. And without Run-DMC doing what they do.
This album in particular, I feel like this one is the one that like legit paved the fucking way. They had to kick down all the doors and get.
Yeah, and that's taking into consideration King of Rock, that's Tougher Than Leather, Whose House, Run's House, and all that kind of stuff. But this is the album that like
I think this is their best album. I mean, it's not their first album, but it's their best album.
Yes. And like I said, it's not my first exposure to Run-DMC.
Yeah, I remember King of Rock.
I love this.
I remember when King of Rock came out. I don't remember it coming out. I remember it being on the radio when I was a little kid. I remember the first time I heard it. To me, that was my first exposure to honestly, that was probably my first exposure to rap music was Run DMC.
Okay, all right. Which is and it's
I
funny.
didn't like. Nobody I hung out with really listened to rap music until I was in like 6th grade.
Okay,
and that's when kids would kind of
So it's funny because they sit there and they say they're the king of rock and stuff like that, and in a way,
that's a rock and roll record, though, man.
They're in general like, and that's what I'm about to get into.
That's a rock and roll record.
People will separate the idea of rap and rock, and if you want to talk about styles of music, yes, there is rap music, there is rock music, there's heavy metal, there's punk rock, there is easy listening, there is R&B, there is soul. It's all fucking rock and roll, though. Rock and roll, in my opinion, is a mindset. It's an attitude. It's a lifestyle. And these guys were the king of rock, even though they were doing rap. Yeah,
that's a rock and roll album. For what I was saying earlier, how much I respect the fact that they played all their own instruments. Like, they're good at it too. Like, this is not like nowadays. Hip hop is, hey, I bought a beat. Here's I wrote the lyrics.
Right.
Again, some fucking fantastic writers, but at the same time, that's not a musician.
Yeah.
The musician was the one who made the beat that they sold to the rapper. It's become separate, and like it's all farmed out now, these guys had to make everything they did.
Yeah, and it comes into pop music too. I forget the song offhand, but I know the one artist is Kelly Clarkson. I want to say the other one is Beyonce, where they bought the same music and just did their songs to it, but it's literally the same exact music that would, like, someone made, hey, this is the music, and then and they came out around the same time. I definitely know the one is Kelly Clarkson. Like I said, I think the other is Beyonce. It might not be Beyonce. It might be Katy Perry. I know they're not even the same person, but I know in pop music and stuff like that shit happens where that they're making these songs and they're shopping around
6 writers that write every big pop song.
Yeah. And even
same thing with country music. You have like 6 writers that write all of those hits, and they just sell them to whoever.
Yep. And that's one of the things too, when you look at even it goes back, Tina Turner wanted to do a rock album, and the song "What's Love Got to Do with It?" She didn't write that song. That song was shopped around and recorded by a bunch of different artists. One of them being Richard Marx, of all people. And ultimately, Tina Turner.
I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
I forgot he was even alive, at one point was alive until you brought him up right now.
At one point, like, Tina Turner didn't want to do it because she didn't feel like it was a rock and roll enough song. And then she sat down with the guy who actually wrote it, and they worked out some stuff. She's like, all right, I could do this. And it's an amazing song. But that's what happened a lot. And you go back even further in music and you look at The Factory, which had Carole King in it, had Sedeka was in it. Neil Diamond was part of the Factory, where Annie Greenwich, one of the best, like that whole, like, all that go into the chapel, I'm gonna get married, do-rah diddy, leader of the pack. Those were all Annie Greenwich songs that came out of The Factory, where it was like this company in New York where you went and these people literally just wrote pop songs and then sold them and put them into other artists' hands. And some of them became very, very big artists, such as Neil Diamond and whatnot. Neil Sedeka had some albums as well. I think I have them in my, like, dollar bin somewhere.
I couldn't fucking name one song by him.
Oh, either could I.
I know the name though. Yeah, I'm sure my mom could tell you all about him.
Yeah, like Engelbert Humperdinck songs, shit like that. But these are songs and music that has sold millions and millions and hundreds of thousands of copies and has produced all of this, this revenue in music, but it was basically made in the factory, and that's kind of what happens with pop music a lot. And just, this album is just so different than that because they did their own thing. And they had Rick Rubin, they had Russell Simmons they were working with, Rick Rubin, like, probably brought his own little thing, like, hey, try this, try that.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Because when you listen to, like, Rick Rubin talk, he talks about when he's producing a record, it's not about him talking about, like, because he'll say, it's like, I don't really know music. I don't know much about music. I know what I like and what I'd like to hear. And he probably sat down and said, this is what I think would sound good here. And that's what happened.
Just the other day, I heard him explaining about Rick Rubin. I was reading on the internet while I couldn't sleep. Him talking about playing the opening riff on Fight for Your Right to Party.
Oh, right.
He actually played that, and I fucking love that.
Nice.
Like, oh, okay, that guy did contribute something.
Yeah. Nice. So, but yeah, overall, love this album. Absolutely love it. Great album. Fucking pioneers. Like I said, if we had a Mount Rushmore of rap music, 3 of the faces would be Run-DMC. It'd be Reverend Run, be Daryl Mack, and then, of course, the great Jam Master Jay. Let's give it up one more time for Jam Master Jay.
Oh, man.
So, the turntable may wobble, but it won't fall down.
What I'm hearing is I like this record, and you like this record.
Yes.
But that doesn't really matter, right?
No, none of that matters. This is so good. He's fucking taking the reins here. Adam, you're out of a fucking job, buddy.
You're out of
here.
You're done. So what does that Sweet Baby Angel think of this record?
I'm just going to say, when I put this on for that Sweet Baby Angel, Regina, she raised her hands in the air and waved them like she just don't care. She fucking liked this album, which didn't completely surprise me because she also liked De La Soul. 3 Feet High and Rising, but she was into it, man. She was like, and right from the beginning, she seems to like the rhythmic, of rap music in general. She seems to like the rhythm. She likes to see, likes how it goes. So no, she was totally into it, which brings me to on the Regina factor: 6 likes, 1 dislike, and 1 indifferent. You are now at 2 likes. Adam has, because you're getting the all the booze and vinyl credit, even if it's double, you're getting it. You're double dipping. Not the first time you've done that. Adam has 5 likes and 1 dislike. And the listeners are all at 1 of each. 1 like, 1 dislike, and 1 indifferent on the Regina factor. We also haven't had a listener record in quite some time. Yeah. So what are your top 3 songs?
I got my notes. I forgot my little hipster notebook, unfortunately, so I got to do this the old-fashioned way.
Fuck, I just spilled down my front. This fucking... Also, I want to just say that, too. I know you didn't like the first drink, but great album, great music, fucking great drinks to go with it. Man.
No, especially this one. That first one can blow me. This one is awesome.
This one is absolutely awesome.
I like this one better as the ice started to melt a little. It mellowed it out a little bit. It
mellowed it out, yep. But it wasn't bad.
Again, I'm an advocate for ice in my drinks.
Yeah, no, this was so good. Like I said, I could. Man, this might be my summer 2025 drink when I.
It's like the 5th time you said that about drinks we've had on the show.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have to review the review. We're gonna have to. Maybe we have to rank the drinks.
We might have to do that. We might have to add that in. We should actually rank the drinks and get Andre on here too to rank them with us.
That's not a bad move.
I
should probably skip it because I've talked so much shit about Andre.
You know what though? Here's the thing. I don't think he minds.
I don't think he gives a shit because obviously I'm doing this out of I'm just trying to be fucking funny. I don't even know the guy, but
I definitely got the vibe where he's like very like can take criticism and definitely with a grain of salt.
I think if you're a public figure, you fucking better.
Yeah, exactly.
You better have a thick skin because if not, you're just. Yeah, like what do you just answering internet trolls all day long, like fucking fighting with people on the internet?
It's like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they go around and try to beat the shit out of
Magnolia Fan 09. Okay, top 3 songs.
Yes.
I already knew my top 3 before I listened to the album again because I have 4 of these on my Spotify playlist, but It's Tricky is my favorite, and it's not a close second.
Okay,
all right. The other 2 that would be in my top 3 would be My Adidas and Raising Hell.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Raising Hell, I think, is probably number 2, and My Adidas would be number 3.
All right. Cool. All good picks. So I have to do this, and now so I'm going to give Adam's picks, even though Adam's not here. Let's give it up for Adam. Adam, he's not totally dead, just partially dead.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, no.
So opened up my phone, and it started playing.
There you go. So I was listening to the Rush episode the other day, Moving Pictures, and realized when I did this for Adam, I actually never gave my top 3 of Rush Moving Pictures, which was fine because the album wasn't really all that good.
I mean,
so it was like Tom Sawyer,
trash, but I like to hear your brother call you an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
certified.
Yeah, I got the merit badge. I got my merit badge. It was great. So Adam's top 3 on this. He didn't give the reasons for this. He did give me his reason for his bottom, but he did not give me his reasons for his top. And they are Hit It Run, My Adidas, and Raising Hell. So he's there with you with Raising Hell.
Yeah.
I will say Raising Hell did not make it onto my list, and honestly, kind of veered towards the dislike.
Okay.
I'm not jumping, but like it just, it didn't end up as my dislike or even a dishonorable mention. It just kind of veered towards that. So my three, I totally agree with you. It's tricky, really good. I'll tell you a story about
for
that.
me. It's not even a close second. That is that's still my favorite Run DMC song of all their songs. It's always been my favorite.
So it's tricky. So it's funny. So I'm going to tell this little story and then I'll give my other two. I've mentioned before, I'm a musician. I'm playing a band called Birmingham Six. A few years back, at this point, I don't know how many years ago it was. We were part of this thing where we were doing these fundraisers to it's called the Santa Ed Fund. There was this guy Ed Long who dressed up as Santa. Used to be the Santa down at Love Park in Philly. Suddenly passed away, but to keep Santa Ed's Santa Ed. To keep his memory going, they would do these fundraisers and basically they would take the money and they would then donate it to. They would basically go out and buy everything for a family that was unfortunate that year, and they would take all that money and just give whatever family a really great Christmas, an amazing Christmas.
Awesome.
So the one year we were doing it, there were a bunch of different bands in the area involved with it, and one of the guys, this guy Mike Shackleton, who was playing, and he's doing a song, and the fucking place is crowded. It's fucking packed. So he goes into an Eminem song, like on the acoustic guitar, and he had his fiddle player there, and Callie, and she's doing her thing, and they're doing like dun 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 dun, whatever one that is. What is like the feel of the music or whatever that one? It was that one from 8 Mile, the song from 8 Mile.
I know the song you're speaking of.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the names of these songs.
So they're doing it. Next thing you know, this dude Frank Daly gets up. Frank Daly, friend of the podcast, and from the singer of the band Jameson, he gets up and does just like some freestyle rapping it, and they're still going. And next thing you know, I fucking get up and I start rapping It's Tricky to it. And the best thing is like in this video that circulates actually around this time every year, like it comes up in Facebook memories, is like when Mike Shackleton's playing and someone's got the perfect video, is like all of a sudden I get up and I start going, it's tricky, and his jaw just fucking drops. He just look and he's looking over like, holy shit, Paul Weiss is up here fucking rapping and pulling Run DMC out of nowhere. So It's Tricky definitely ended up on my top three. If that video comes up, I'll make sure I share it on the Country Hipster podcast Instagram or something, because it is a good one. So It's Tricky's on there. Peter Piper's on there because it's just fucking great.
Sure.
And then Hit It Run, man. Hit It Run is just fucking great song.
Good
like
song.
a fucking,
I could have picked 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
there's only I think there's 12 tracks on this album.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for 39 minutes, it's like it's such a short record.
And
but
just the
I
verse.
could have picked 5.
Yeah, just
there's
the
a couple
verse
that irritate me, but the rest.
Yeah,
of them,
I hear it. It's not, my name's McDowell, not McDonald's. The rhymes are Daryl's, the burgers are Ronald's. Man, come on, dude. It's like fucking great, dude.
No,
that shit is so good.
They were always very, very clever. I love the way that they write.
Yes. So, I have an honorable mention of You Be Illin as well. Oh, Corner Troll. Corner Troll's here. She's got a question.
No, do you want to present it to him?
Later.
Well, we're going to run out of time.
Yeah, we're going to run out of time. What do you got?
She made something for Paul.
Oh, you made something for me.
While the episode was going on.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
I'm not sure.
Oh, dude, this is awesome. This is going up in the Ottsville Record Garage. There you go. I am the Country Hipster.
You even spelled it right.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Well, because Paul wouldn't have spelled it right. That's not bad.
That's
that
good.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you. That is great. I am the Country Hipster. This is going to go up in the Ottsville Record Garage. Give me a high five, Ryan.
That's pretty
All right.
awesome.
That is
I
great.
was wondering why you were being so quiet for so long.
Yeah, that's cool. That is so awesome. Let's give it up for our corner troll. So, who is drinking Gatorade? Just in case anybody was wondering, it's Gatorade. There's no alcohol involved with the corner troll. So, what is your least favorite?
I'm going to say Perfection.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you.
My least favorite.
Yep.
It's just like a forgettable kind of. I don't want to say it's a throwaway song because I'm sure there's a reason they put it on the record, but it's just it's just forgettable for me. The song does nothing for me.
It's the song where I'm like,
that's the one. That's the first one I'm going to skip.
Yep.
Is Perfection.
Yep. So, and it's also my least favorite on the album. So when I asked Adam, he said, "Are we counting Son of Byford or Buford or whatever it is?" I was like, "Yeah, no, we're going to count it." And he said, I guess that is my least because I feel it's kind of unnecessary in my opinion. Strangely enough, Hit It Run is my number one on the album, and the verse from Son of Byford is my favorite verse. I like the song, but I just feel like it's filler.
Okay.
It's fair, and I also get why he asked, like, are we counting this? Like, yeah, no, we're counting.
That makes sense.
It's so I'm gonna put words into Adam's mouth and say that Perfection would be a dishonorable mention for him. So he's not here to.
We're gonna have it's a clean sweep.
Yes, yeah,
we've agreed that Adam also thinks this.
Yes, so
because he's not here to defend himself.
Exactly.
Tough shit.
Yes. So we have been having some really good stuff on the Discogs value for the Big D here. I mean, I'm personally super excited about it. Now you're obviously your total's starting to come up a bit too because as we said,
I wasn't here last
double
time.
dipping.
I was drinking my face off and being a menace, I was not actually privy to the numbers until just now.
Yes.
So I'm going to be just as surprised as the listeners when we hear this number.
So I want to say this. I have a special pressing of this album, but unlike the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I did not pick this because I was trying to up my Big D value. I did pick this because I love this album. It was basically, I was going to put Run-DMC on this season. It was either this, and I also have Tougher Than Leather. I like this album better than Tougher Than Leather, so that's why it ended up on here. So I do have a 2023 limited remastered 180 gram vinyl, Mobile Fidelity super vinyl pressing. Now, we've talked about Mobile Fidelity on here before. There's some like fucking smoke and mirrors with the Mobile Fidelity shit. It's not really always from the analog masters like they've claimed for so long it is. Sometimes they are remastering off of digital remasters. But they still make a pretty good fucking quality record. They really do. The vinyl's good. The only downfall, in my opinion, about Mobile Fidelity stuff is that they fucking put out the shittiest jackets. So a lot of times the records will. Well,
this one looks like the original. It's just washed.
Oh, it is.
It's like it's just they lightened it up quite a bit.
Yeah, but like what'll happen is with Mobile Fidelity stuff is through shipping, and it's not even just shipping like the retailer to the final customer. This is from like Mobile Fidelity to the distributor to the retailer, is that the records will shift inside and will cause seam splits.
Okay.
And most people who are Mobile Fidelity collectors are all about the covers as well, because you're generally paying at least $50 for a record, sometimes as much as like, $125 or so. I think this one retailed for $60 originally. So I kind of get it. If you're putting the money out, you don't want that shit to happen. But it's ultimately a Mobile Fidelity thing, and it's a known Mobile Fidelity thing. That Mobile Fidelity doesn't give a fuck about if you're buying it from a secondary retailer. They only care if you buy it from them. Then they'll give you a replacement jacket. But otherwise, you didn't buy it from us? Well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm a little, whatever.
It's kind of shitty that they don't stand by their products. Yeah.
Mine is also a numbered copy. I believe this was, I want to say 10,000 copies were originally pressed. I have number 375.
Is there a way to find out how many are pressed?
If you look on their website. You
just got to Google it?
Yeah. They'll usually say that on their website. We're only making 5,000. We're only making 10,000, stuff like that. So
I have a general, or I have a question about when we're done with this. I want to ask a vinyl question for clarity's sake, for the masses.
Here's what I will also say is that a lot of the numbered pressings, it's bullshit anyway. It really is. It's bullshit. It's like, and Mobile Fidelity does the same thing where they'll say, we're only making 10,000 copies of this, and they'll make 10,000 copies of it, and they sell out of 10,000 copies. They're like, we're going to make 5,000 more copies. Or a couple years later, there's only 10,000 copies of this. Well, what about the first 10,000 that you did 5 years ago?
I've seen some baseball card manufacturers that did some nefarious shit.
Yes.
And they didn't get busted until the last couple of years when grading became a thing.
Yeah.
So like Beckett had a photo of these cards that were like numbered to 10. And it was like this big, it's like a $30,000 fucking card. Here's 7 of 10. Here's another one that's 7 of 10.
7 of 10. Exactly.
Okay, motherfucker. Yeah. Like, how many of them are there?
Yeah, exactly. And I will say this, is that what Mobile Fidelity usually does if they're continuing to press, like if you look at they'll put out periodically what will come back into press after it's sold out, never pressing it again. About a year and a half, 2 years later.
Don't say never.
All of a sudden, Miles Davis Kind of Blue is being pressed again. What I will say about Mobile Fidelity is that they do continue the numbers. They don't recycle the numbers. They don't start them over. That they do then continue the numbers. So I will give them credit for that. But ultimately, you own the rights to your pressing. You've paid the publishing. You're allowed to do it. You're upping it.
It just makes it's just disingenuous that they would go ahead and say,
yes,
hey, we're never
going to do this again.
Fuck you. If you sell 10,000 of them in 2 weeks, you're making another 10,000.
Exactly. It is a very, very good marketing tool that they have. And for people who don't know, Mobile Fidelity is also Music Direct, which is why Music Direct, of course, if you go to musicdirect.com, you always get your Mobile Fidelity orders fulfilled. Yeah, because it's the same fucking company. So, but yeah, it's really, they're very, 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 very good at marketing, and they do. I'm not trying to fucking totally shit on the quality.
Mobile Fidelity records, but I also my collection is, I have less than 100 records that are in my personal collection.
Yes, they're good, and they're good quality. I just, it all comes down to marketing, and it all comes down to in a lot of ways, and I love you, audiophiles, I really do, but at the same time, you're Star Wars geeks. You know what I mean? You're mad that Jar Jar Binks is in there.
I mean, that's coming from a fucking Star Wars geek?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a Star Wars geek, so I get it.
Same.
I get it. But it's sometimes you take it a little too seriously, and you got to really look at what you're looking at. So I'm sorry if I'm fucking up people's opinions of Mobile Fidelity. I'm not totally trying to talk shit about them. Because like I said, it is, if you buy a record for $50, $60, $70 from Mobile Fidelity, it is worth it. I'm not gonna say they're ripping you off. It is worth it, but it's a lot of smoke and fucking mirrors. But at any rate, I have a 2023 limited edition remastered 180 gram Mobile Fidelity super vinyl pressing, which is part of the Hip Hop 50th Anniversary edition. Which I don't know if they've put out other hip hop on Mobile Fidelity, so I'm not really sure where the Hip Hop 50 comes from. But at any rate, my very good plus value of this record here is $61.36, rounding it up to $62. So that brings my running total. So we are filming ahead. So you guys are, if you watched last week's episode, you already know this. So we are ahead a few weeks. Tom has not heard the
I didn't hear shit.
The Big Day voucher
because we don't do anything what they like to call show prep.
Yes, we don't do much
discuss anything with each other. It's all got to be a surprise.
It is. That's how we like it here on the Country Hipster Podcast. So my current running total on the Big D is now with the $62 is $786.
Fucking hell! What happened? Wait. What the fuck did I miss?
Adam would say fucking Counting Crows is what he would say.
Jesus Christ. What did I miss?
Tom, your running total, since you are getting credit for the Booze and Vinyl records, is now at $162.
Oh.
Adam has a nice respectable number there of $419, and our listeners are at $163.
So I'm in last place, but I've only got 2 records, I think, right?
3 now.
Oh,
3 because you had the Beastie Boys and you had De La Soul and now this.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yes, because you're getting credit for this.
So we're both getting credit.
Yes,
for this.
we both go. So you are double dipping. Like I said, not the first time Tom has double dipped.
Yeah, me and Paul double dip all the time.
All the time. Eskimo brothers, I'm sure.
Most likely.
Actually, yeah, probably. I don't think so.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Mm-mm. Nope. So do you, I did bring the box of Mike with me, even though we're on location. We got some envelopes in there. Do we want the corner troll to do this or do you want to just do it?
Hey, corner troll.
Corner troll.
Get in here. Here, give me Michael Stripe. I'll hold him.
You hold Michael Stripe.
He's all dick.
He's all dick. He's all dick.
Come on, you want to pick the record from the box of Mike?
Which side you going? You going on this side here? All right.
You know what's funny? I just noticed now looking at this, she did spell it wrong, but she spelled it the way Paul would have spelled it anyway.
Absolutely.
So I like that.
Thank you. All right. So this is envelope number 2. Let's see what we are looking at here. Oh, speaking of the listeners, we have a listener pick. Okay. This is a listener pick. And I believe we will have a guest next week as well. This comes from Megan, our Gen C prospector. I'm sticking with that word.
Gen C prospector?
Prospector, yeah. I
Gen Z though, right?
Gen Z.
I don't think she's a prospector.
No. Well, it's a perspective. It's a Gen Z perspective.
Perspective.
Yes.
Perspective, not prospective.
Oh, whatever.
So, but also, yeah, she's not old enough to be a gold digger yet, so she can be a prospector.
Yes, she can be a prospector. This is Megan's pick. This is a listener pick, and Megan was a listener when she put this in. She wasn't really part of the podcast. So we are doing next week Green Day, American Idiot.
Okay,
so there you go.
I don't hate that record.
I don't hate this record either. I'm kind of excited about it.
I have some issues with Green Day in that they fucking steal music.
Oh, absolutely.
So you listen to Jesus is Suburbia. Somehow,
yeah,
they should get sued by at least 4 fucking bands over that one song. I don't know how they get away with it.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
All right, so I've got can I give a quick aside? Have we got a couple minutes to add to this podcast?
Sure.
Okay,
Why not?
So I was on my birthday. I was in Asbury Park, and they had this knockoff punk rock flea market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is it's tiny,
yes.
But whatever. They can't all be the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market,
right?
Which is
could you explain to our listeners what the Trenton Punk Rock? So the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market
is an event that is at this point it's like a 3-day fucking festival coming up. Mm-hmm. So
real quick,
my friend Joe who owns and operates
is going to jump in real quick. I miss Arts All Night.
Art All Night is back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but now it's at the War Memorial instead of where it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Waterworks because of there was an unfortunate incident. Very unfortunate. Some people came in from outside and got into a fucking running gunfight with the police.
Yes.
And it turned out the police shot like 8 people.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
I don't even think they hit the guy who was shooting.
Yeah.
They hit a bunch of. But a lot of people got fucking shot. And I say this, I don't know the whole story. I have a lot of friends who were Trenton police. I don't mean it like that.
Yeah.
But it was an unfortunate fucking event. You already have a lot of people who are scared to come to Trenton anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this just added the fucking fuel to the fire. This was, that whatever. Art All Night is back. It was one of my favorite events in the city. It always was. So what they do now is they open at like 3 p.m. and they'll stay open until like midnight. Okay. And then it'll open back up at 6 a.m. until 3 a.m. So they don't do all night anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
But I get it.
Yeah. Right? You got to make some changes.
Yeah. Some things have to happen.
It is the world we live in.
But at least that event is back. And it was the fucking best event.
Yeah, it was so cool. Art All Night was really cool. But I'm sorry, Trenton
Punk Rock Flea Market, Joe Kuzemka started it years ago. He runs this event couple times a year here in Trenton, and he runs it up in North Jersey out of the whatever convention center it is. So he has like a tattoo festival plus the thing. He gets like he's got fucking Guar appearing at it. Hold on. I will say Odorous is gone, so it ain't Guar.
It's not,
but he's got like the original like Beefcake and like guys like that who are going to fucking show up and do photo ops, and like he gets like big names in punk, he gets big names in horror, like in that sort of genre that will show up and do photo ops and do. It's fucking incredible. But you get hundreds and hundreds of vendors selling. I mean, they'll be selling records, all kinds of weird curiosity. Like you'll see gemstone people and then people selling fucking
dildos.
Like I didn't notice any dildo salespeople, but it wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
But you do see a lot of people selling like handmade. I buy a lot of like handmade greeting cards from the couple vendors there. You see people having tons of like old vinyl or movies or movie posters or like a lot of taxidermy, like odd shit, like really morbid, weird shit.
Nice.
But lots of just fun stuff. And it's a huge event and it's at the Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton. Like, so there will be hundreds of vendors on the floor. There's vendors all around the outside. There's fucking, the concessions are open. Like, it's amazing. He does such a great job. But one byproduct of the great job that he has done is it has spawned a lot of fucking imitators.
Yeah.
So I was at the Asbury Park one, and it is in the Berkeley, which is the old hotel there. And it's in like the one little conference room, and it's maybe 100 feet by 50 feet. Like there's like 17 vendors. It's $5 to get in the door.
Yeah.
But there was a guy there that had a bunch of vinyl, and I found a couple of things while I was there that I had to have.
Okay.
One of them.
I love that when you go,
dude,
and you're just like, oh my God, I've been looking for this.
I saw it, and I saw the price on it, and I was like, this has to be a mistake.
Okay.
Like, or it's fucked up, right? So I opened it. And it's in fucking great shape. And it's a numbered copy of Biohazard, Urban Discipline.
Okay.
Right, was the album and it's one of those like defining albums of my high school years.
Right.
This was the album that me and my buddy Dave listened to constantly.
Okay.
And like this was like, it was so fucking like, and it's numbered. I don't know. And that was my question about the numbering. Like how do you find out how many of these fucking things are made? Because mine is like number like 85.
Honestly,
Like
it's the same thing with the Discogs value. You can probably find it on Discogs.
I'll have to
You
check
know what
that
I mean?
out.
And-
But it's
and,
like orange vinyl. It's a gatefold. It's in great fucking shape.
nice.
It like the vinyl looks like it's not even been played.
Okay.
It was one of them, and it was $50, and I'm like, I can't not. I have to fucking buy this.
I
I would
tell
have
you
paid
this.
twice as much for that album.
Well, that's what I was about to say, because of like what you're talking about there, right? And this is what I love about
for me, the
vinyl.
nostalgia will add another.
Exactly.
Easy. I
It's
had to
like-
have that album.
when you have an album like that, it doesn't matter what it is, who it is, or the pressing. If you have that connection to that album,
It was an
and to
OG
that
album.
music,
It's an OG copy too.
Yeah.
Like it was an original.
it's priceless. Do you know what I mean? So like
Yeah, I
you
would've
know, if you
paid-
told me you paid like $300 for it, I'd be like, yeah, but you have those things connected to it.
Yeah.
Who cares if you overpaid or underpaid
When
for it? It doesn't matter.
I-
It's the romanticism of vinyl that just makes it so great. Which is one of the things I love about it.
I flipped it over and I saw the price on it. I was like, I'm fucking.
Yeah.
I would have paid. I mean, at that point, I would have paid up to like 125 for this fucking record.
Right.
Because it was I'm like, okay, it's an original. I always love the colored ones. Like if I get colored
Yeah.
vinyl, like I always
Yeah,
want that.
color
like,
vinyl's cool. It is.
I have so many cool like colored records. Like probably 60% of the records that I own
I
are
don't
some
think
sort
we
of
can-
color variant.
I don't think we can call them that anymore, but
It's not
I
the
get what
preferred
you're
nomenclature.
saying. Yeah.
So that was where I was going. Like I don't understand how, like, because it's not these guys.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. Like I don't know
it's-
how the fuck to figure out
it's
how many of these
supply
are
and
numbered.
demand
Is
and
there
whatnot. We can look it up when we're done here. Actually, if you bring it over after we get off here. But like that's the thing, like stuff
Yes.
like that.
upstairs? I can grab it.
There's records where it's like,
Oh, and I bought an ODB record for
Nice.
fucking $25, and it
Nice.
came with the fucking food stamp card and everything.
oh, that's great. That's great. There's records where like, and I can't think of one offhand, but like I know that there's been situations where I've been in like record stores, and I'm like, you know, like one situation in particular, I was down in Virginia visiting Sean, the Unholy Four singer, and we went to like an antique shop, right? And the guy had behind the counter, he hadn't even put them out yet. He had a bunch of records, and one of them was a mobile fidelity pressing of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd,
Mhm.
which is a fucking great pressing of it. Like I said,
But also,
even-
one of the greatest albums
Yes,
of
one of
all
the greatest
fucking
albums.
time.
And even though I talk shit about Mobile Fidelity, I talked shit about them just a few minutes
But
ago.
that's a good copy
It's
to
a good
own if
copy,
you have
and
it.
right? And
If it's not
literally,
fucked up.
I had like $125 cash in my pocket at the time, and I just turned to the guy. I was like, "What do you want for it?" He's like, "I don't know. I haven't graded it." I'm like, and this again, this is sight unseen. I haven't heard it. I
He
just
doesn't
see the
know
thing.
who he's dealing with.
You know, and I'm
He
just
doesn't
like,
know he's dealing with the country hipster.
I actually told him, I was like, I have $125 cash in my pocket right now. It's all the cash I have on me. I will give that to you for that record because it's worth that much.
I'm sure he didn't fucking pay it for it.
No,
It's an
he
antique
didn't.
shop. An antique shop. He probably paid fucking $12 for it.
But he turned me down.
oh,
And he's like, no, I gotta. So I was like, dude, I'm telling you, like, and I literally pulled the cash out. I'm like, this is all the cash I have on me right now.
there's
Like,
no
I will-
fucking way he paid $125.
Yeah, I was like, I will give it to you for that record. He's like, no, I'm gonna pass right now. I'm like, all right, you know. But like, when you have records like that, when you come into those situations, man, if you have the cash to do it, fucking do it, man. Fucking do it.
To me,
I
50
I
bucks
fucking
felt
believe
like
in
a
that
steal
shit.
for that record,
Yeah.
though, because it's again the nostalgia factor of it is that's
It's-
an album I haven't listened to it in a decade. I guarantee I know every fucking word of that album.
Yeah.
Every fucking word.
Yep.
Still do. I've seen them
Absolutely.
live several times. I saw them live at City Gardens.
There you
Like
go.
they're
There you
they
go.
used to be. I don't know what the fuck happened to them now. I don't
Yeah.
care what they're doing now. But
Nah, that's
at that
awesome.
moment in my life, it was amazing.
Cool. All right. So on next week's episode, we will have a listener pick. I believe Megan is going to actually even come on for this episode. I think she said she wanted to try to be on for her listener picks.
Say bye.
We are doing Green Day, American Idiot. It's also, we have it listed here. It's a mystery beer episode. Corner Troll, you got anything else to say?
You want to add? What'd you think of the album?
Would you like? Did you listen
know
to
it's-
Run-DMC?
You know Run-DMC.
Raisin Hell.
It's tricky.
It's tricky to rock around. That's right on time. It's tricky. Oh, okay.
What do you
there we
think
go.
of that?
There-
You like that song?
All right, she likes that song. There you
That
go.
gets the Corner Troll approval too.
There you go. Corner Troll approval on Raising Hell. Do you have anything else to add to this, Tom? I almost called you Adam.
nuanced. I get it.
I did. Yeah.
I get it. No, we're good. We're good. We're good.
All right, cool. I have nothing else. Adam would tell you to go ahead and listen to the album and form your own opinion. Fuck that. I say you take our opinions and you just run with it.
Yeah, we say it sucks. It sucks.
Exactly. So
like that fucking Depeche Mode record.
Adam may be back. No, that's a good
Fuck
record.
that record.
Oh man. All right. So whatever. We're in disagreement here. Adam may be back next week. He may not be back next week. He might have a new dick.
Maybe
he
I'm
might
back
not have
next
a new
week.
dick. He might be back. He might be the new co-host of the Country Hipster podcast. Adam has been trying to get you on like constantly.
I got his little D.
Yeah,
Tries to get me off. Tries to get me off constantly too.
On that note, it is time to